All right, all right, all right. Welcome back, you inglorious bastards and magnificent bitches.
It has begun!
It is I, Doc Camo, and we're back for my thought of the day.
How dare you!
Dear on, Greta gonna dear on. And as we were talking in the last episode, we have to start thinking about producing our own oil and stuff, and we're starting to do that. Biden administration's gonna start doing leases and stuff again, even though he was telling people to use those, even though he canceled them and wasn't giving them out. But I digress. He's going to be giving them out. Relax restrictions for using E15, an ethanol-infused fuel alternative this summer, to help us combat this what's going on with the gas prices and stuff. That he by far calls it. It may be too late to change that. At least that's what the Russians think. But it needs to be done, and I kind of agree it needs to be done. And I'm going to go over an opinion from insider sources about why I think it needs to be done and why they think it needs to be done. But this is the way of life right now with the little war going on in oil and the shitty president, which I think is probably the worst president we've had in ever, but he's arguably among them, and we've had some shitty presidents, but that's different story. I digress. Let's get into this first article where the Biden administration's to resume leasing for oil and gas and drilling on federal lands. The Biden administration said it will resume selling leasing to the drill for oil and gas on federal lands starting next week, but with a major reduction in the number of acres offered and an increase in the royalties companies must pay to drill. The Interior Department announced that on Monday it will release a sale notice for leases to drill on 144,000 acres of government land, 80% less than what was initially being evaluated for potential leasing. 80% less, really? That's not enough. We need to be drilling. We need to be the renewable resources. Yes, we need to pursue them, but they're not good enough to switch to actually fund the machine, and we need to be drilling on more than that. But oh my God, at least we're doing something. President Joe Biden, who even though it's a Band-Aid, on a campaign trail called for the end of drilling to the federal lands, has been looking for ways of temporarily increase U.S. energy production to help drive down the gas prices. The more commons amid growing pressure from Biden administration to do more lower gas prices, Republicans particular saying it would allow more drilling. Industry experts said it would take at least 6 months to a year before new drilling on federal lands would produce additional supply and ultimately bring down the cost of gas, which has emerged as a major midterm election issue. Yeah, because, why am I paying for these sanctions when the ruble they stopped working? We covered that. The ruble is almost completely recovered and it's on the gold standard and stuff. Why am I going to continue to sacrifice for that? Now, if you want me to not need Russian gas in order to maintain the gas prices, because I'm not willing to pay that high of a gas price, then we need to be producing our own gasoline. That is the way forward to get me on board. I'm just throwing that out there. First announcement, however, is likely to ranky environmentalists during the 2020 presidential campaign. Biden has urged a complete end to drilling for oil and gas in federal lands, but courts disagreed with the initial moratorium that he signed when he took office. Good. In the late February, the administration said it was delaying decisions on new oil and gas drilling in federal land after a federal court blocked federal agencies from using an estimate known as the social cost of carbon to evaluate the damage done by carbon emissions stemming from energy production. Anything that begins with the social cost of anything nowadays is just socialist crap to me. You're gonna have to show me like hard science without your political dogma in it, because the left is like a climate cult dogma identitarians, and that's a different. I digress. The Interior Department on Friday said that the leasing would come with a royalty rate of 18.75% up from the previous 12.5 rate that critics complained was far lower than what energy companies pay to drill on most state lands. So they want to make more money. This seems like a way to recoup money because people the economy's collapsing and stuff, and we're not taking in enough tax money because not enough people are working because they want meaningful employment and stuff, which it's hard to measure that. What's meaningful to me is not. They're not so. It's what does that even mean? But people are sick of working for shit slave wages while certain people live the high life and they have enough money to have kids and buy a home and stuff, and everyone else is feudalist slave labor. People are sick of that shit, and sooner or later that's going to cause civil war if people don't reduce the population. Well, World War is probably going to reduce the population, and we'll come back at us in another 100 years and repeat the cycle like we have. Right? This is like the third. I mean, this time it's accelerated. It's like we've repeated everything in the last like fucking year and a half. But it is what it is, man. We're headed into like collapse territory, not improvise, adapt, and evolve territory. Maybe moving to space, become a spacefaring society. We're not doing any of those things. Though most of this dogma and the leftist stuff is people are not listening to it and whatnot. And in midterms, I don't really like Republicans either. Like some of them I do, some of them I don't. Like McConnell, he's trash. That's like establishment guy Romney, he's trash. I'm more of a libertarian myself, but even like that party was trash. So I don't. It's like I want my freedoms, I want my constitutional rights, and not being dependent on a foreign state like Russia is the first step towards becoming like a prosperous, functioning, free society again. So
That's how winning is done.
let's increase oil. Let's open those pipelines and get oil pumping, and then research the renewable technologies so we don't need the oil anymore and move forward. Start the second industrial revolution, but we need the energy sources of the prior society to fund that, to fuel that. That's how that works. The current green renewable energy sources are not powerful enough to fund that. The batteries are fucking garbage. Like they're made from like lithium and like the strip mining of that. Like it's so we have to do better, but we can't like end the shit that works just to do better, because then we just fuck ourselves in the ass and like shit gets fucking worse instead of better. Like the technology's not capable of running your utopia yet. I'm just fucking saying. California was telling people to turn that shit off because it was straining the grid. Just throwing that out there. Thank you for checking out this clip of my Thought of the Day podcast. You can catch this podcast every Tuesday through Friday at that'sonpoint.info by 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because that's how winning is done. New clips go out daily, and we can't do this without you, so we appreciate your support. With that being said, consider joining for $5 a month, and you get early access to the uncensored version of this, early access to our weekly That's On Point podcast, and access to exclusive content only for members. All the money that we receive is going to go funnel back into this to hire more journalists and do more things for you guys, because that's how winning is done. It really is. We got a merch store and stuff. You can help there, and if you can't help via money, you can always just leave a comment, and share this out there, because that helps us more than you can immensely know. That's the best way to help. Just leave a comment, and share. And if you're listening to us, leave a review. Leave a good review. Help us boost us in the podcast ratings and get us up there, because that's how winning is done. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.